All right, here is day one in progress. Putting up all the Durock backer board and trimming everything out. So that shower valve we just put in, looks like we've got that set just about correctly by the time you add your thin set and tile to be flush. All right, so it's not really day two, but this guy showed up and worked last night. Said he wanted to get the floor prepped before the weekend, that way it could dry all out. So I did want to show you that. So we didn't really get a work day there to record, but he just popped in for a couple of hours, kind of sloped and graded everything. I'll explain the importance of that. And then, like I said, once this dries in a couple of days, hopefully we can get some actual work going on video for you. So this is the only big change at the moment. They come in and prep. This is what's called your bed. And we'll actually have a rubber shower pan that'll go over this. But what's critical about this stage right here is he has came in with his level and sloped everything to the drain. So he's built that pan up. It looks like probably 1.5 inches or so because the bottom plates are gone. And slightly sloped it to the center. I'll try to get that information from him on how much slope. I don't know if it's 1/8 of an inch, quarter, whatever it is. But anywhere water hits in the shower, it should go to that. Now, if I'm thinking correctly, I think then the rubber pan gets laid in here up the wall, and then potentially another mud bed on top of that. But this presets the slope for everything. So we'll have to ask about that once it gets in. All right, and here's a quick look at what that pan looks like in here. And as he stated, he reinforced all corners with extra material. And I'm assuming, so that snow poked through. That's probably a weak point once you come back in here. And he's about to put another layer of what we keep calling mud, but it's a cement mix. Same thing he did for the base. Again, he's already set the proper slope toward this drain. But now if you look at the drain height and the way that's set in there, you have to pour an additional layer and slope toward the drain itself. So you wind up with a very thick concrete base. The other thing he did was came quite a ways up the wall. That's pretty common. That's why I did, I think it was 2x10 blocking in here. And whenever he goes and puts the last of this cement board in there, it'll actually lip on the inside. Then we're gonna put a waterproofing barrier on the cement board. So if any point in the shower you were ever to get a leak behind the tile, it would hit that waterproofing layer, run down and be caught inside the pan, ultimately making its way to the drain. Because again, you're going to put the rock board, cement board on the outside of that lip. So it's all about forcing any potential leaks inside this waterproofing pan right here. All right, so we just had another important step happen that I wanted to include y'all on because this is a critical step in my mind. So as you can see, the walls are a light shade of blue. And what that is a waterproofing membrane. And I have had a nightmare of a time. I ordered a couple of cans of Durock membrane made just for this cement board online. They showed up completely dried out, no good other than a small portion. That's why you see the darker color blue here. So I'm gonna wind up sending what I can back to Amazon because, well, the item was defective. Made a trip to town today, bought a different brand, that's this lighter color blue. And of course the tile guy said it's as thin as he has ever seen. So we're gonna have to wind up putting a couple of coats of that on right there. But this is a critical step, and it sounds like it's an often misstepped by a lot of people. So when I mentioned to the tile installer that I wanted this step, typically what you put is called red guard. That's kind of the industry standard and what a lot of people know about. I haven't been able to find it for weeks. Every time I go to stores in town that are supposed to have it, sold out. But it's just a red colored waterproofing membrane. But talking with the tile guy, he was like, thumbs up, that's what you need to do. And I got the impression that a lot of people cheap out and skip this stuff. This is this was $57 a gallon. And well, by the time we're done, we're gonna have 3 gallons in this shower alone. So that's, that's big money, but that's nowhere near the cost of water damage down the road and having to do a lot of repairs. So it sounds like a lot of people skip this step, and I highly recommend that you don't, because this is a liquid membrane that dries almost to a rubber consistency, and it's waterproofing. A lot of people think cement board doesn't rot. Well, that's technically true, but if you ever get a leak behind a tile or a bad grout line, cement board is porous. Cement slabs are porous. Water can go right through them. They basically turn into a wick and they absorb moisture. Well, they're attached to the studs behind them, and eventually the moisture is going to make it to that, rot your stud out. Then you're tearing your shower out. So for $100 or so, you can just get you extra protection and waterproof your shower. I highly recommend this stuff. So something else that we spent time doing today wasn't worth recording, but I really appreciate this guy taking his time. I bet we spent an hour or more out here doing tile layouts, figuring out where they're going to butt, because guess what? This shower's an odd size. It's not going to perfectly match up with tiles. So if you start with a full tile over here and work to this corner, you may have a sliver or a small piece that's just not going to look good to the eye. So he kept calling me in here, making measurements on the wall, checking everything, and getting the perfect layout. We're actually going to split tiles on either side so it's nice and symmetrical, no odd corners, no odd slivers and pieces. We measured all the way up to the window. We decided we're going to remove the bullnose border around the window because it was going to leave a strip of tile underneath that would not look good to the eye. So spent a ton of time doing that. Just the layout, the thought process, and thinking is a huge part of a custom shower like this to make it look good before you even get started. So I appreciate him taking the time doing that. All right, so here we are in progress with the tiles going up. Everything's looking good. All right, kind of wanted to give y'all another little progress update here. This guy has been working a lot of late nights, so I have missed a lot of it, but I think y'all get the point. You come in, you do a lot of layout, a lot of measuring, you cut the tile, you put some thin set on the wall, you press the tile in, you get your spacing good, put your spacers in. I think we all understand how tile works. So he's made some relatively good progress here. Now you can get a good visual of the back wall. Big 12 by 12s down low. Tiffany picked out this decorative border here, and then she wanted it to go to 6 by 6 tiles. And she chose what's called a stack bond pattern, which is all the lines in a row. And whenever we requested this, we had no idea what we were requesting, how difficult it makes it. Because if these walls are not absolutely perfectly plumb, and I know that wall isn't because we had to frame to 6 by 6 posts where they were, it starts making things very difficult. He has to do odd cuts in corners in order to keep all these lines perfectly stacked. Whereas if you don't do what's called a stack bond, say this line right here doesn't match up with this one, typically it'd be over, in the middle. Say this tile right here would be shifted over 50%, and this line would be coming up in the middle of the tile. You can kind of hide inconsistencies a lot more than that. So that's something I've learned throughout this process. And if I ever do tile in the future, I don't think I'm going to do this pattern because it looks very difficult to keep perfect lines all the way from the bottom to the top. So I think we've kind of asked a lot here, and I'm very happy that I hired somebody else to do this because I probably would have been drove crazy trying to keep all these lines nice and straight. All right, so this is going to be my first time ever sealing grout in stone. It's already got one sealer coat on it, but as the tile guy explained, you can do as many coats as you want. And if y'all know me, I like to overdo everything. So I'm going to continue to seal this grout at least 2 to 3 times, or until I see that the grout itself will no longer soak up any of this grout and tile sealer. I also got one that was rated for natural stone because our border is natural stone. Now that probably wasn't the best option because, well, natural stone is very porous, but I figured if we sealed it enough and it's up so high, it's not like it's in major direct contact with water, and we've got that good waterproof membrane behind the wall. I'm not too terribly concerned, but I do want to get this natural stone sealed up very well and multiple coats in the grout. Now it's my understanding that the grout sealer isn't so much for waterproofing, although it does seal the grout and provide that, as much as it helps provide sealing for dirt, grime, oils, mold, mildew, things like that getting in the grout itself. So it sounds like this is something that I probably want to do at least once a year anyways, just like we're going to seal our granite in the kitchen. Alright, so Tiffany hasn't been in here in several days, so she doesn't really know how the completed final look looks, especially with the door and all in. So we're going to get her reaction of her brand new shower. And Bullet's reaction. Come on in, take a look. And she's honest, we'll see her facial expression. If she likes it, she'll like it. If she doesn't like it, she won't like it.
I am honest.
She's not a very good faker.
No, it looks really good. It does look good.
Alright.
Alright.
Well,
check it out.
You can take your shoes off and walk around in there if you want to. I still got to seal the grout many more times, so I'm trying to keep it clean. That'll give people an idea of how big that shower is too.
Yeah. Good. Looks good. Looks good.
Bullet, you want to get in the shower too?
Come on. Get a bath?
Bath time.
Bath time. Get a bath?
So here it is, our gigantic shower. With our little niche that we built, our shelf, and it's specifically designed to handle our big shampoo bottles that have pump sprayers. Although it did shrink up with the tile and everything, but I think it's still plenty big enough. He went ahead and sloped that properly for water drainage, as well as up here. That's got a significant slope to it to drain out. And like I said, we're gonna seal this like crazy. Did a really good job of getting the drain nice and flush. I still have to take the protective cover off of it. So that's stainless. And this is an awesome drain that I got off of Amazon. It has a hair catcher that you can put in it as well.
Good.
Yeah,
we
so
need that.
yeah, I know. So it comes with a hook. You can pop this up and you can pull a hair catcher out, take the hair out, and clean your drain out.
Very good, very good.
But the floor turned out really, really well with the little design that Tiffany picked out. I like it. So this should give you an idea. This is a gigantic shower. We can have a party in here. sure. Coming from a camper, y'all, that literally has the entire bathroom, toilet, sink, shower, everything. You could fit 2 of them in here. I kid you not. This is going to be amazing. Coming from a camper that we've been living in for 2.5 years to a shower this size. This is awesome. And we can still do a whole lot with this. I mean, from teak sitting furniture to whatever we want. A lot of people ask why we didn't build a bench back here. It's because if for any reason everybody's in a wheelchair, they can come in. We've already blocked out for grab rails all the way around the shower, and you can come in. We can always purchase teak furniture if we want. But I like being able to step back way away from the shower head, soap up, and then step back in the water.
Yeah.
So here it is. Long time coming. All right, so sorry I did not catch as much as I wanted to in this episode. This guy did a lot of late night work, a lot of work on the weekends, and I just wasn't around to record. Heck, a lot of times we were asleep when he was out here working. Now, they tried to record some footage and it just did not work out. I tried uploading it. It was recorded off of a phone and it would not work properly with my editing software. So it is what it is. So in the next episode, I know you're already seeing the shower door in right now. We're actually going to install that on the next episode. I'm going to seal the grout for a couple of more days. Then we'll put in the shower valve, shower head. So we've got an episode coming up for that. I just wanted to let you know. I know, bam, here's the shower door, and I didn't include it in this one. So here's our shower, one step closer to getting the house done.
Yay.
Yeah, hopefully you all enjoyed the episode. We'll catch you on the next one.